If you are a real estate agent and you are tired of paying for ads that flat out don't work, cold calling, door knocking, all the same old stuff that just seems to be getting you stuck in a rut, well, this is the channel for you. We are three rockstar agents who have come together with over 50 plus years in the training and sales industry, and we are hoping to pass that knowledge on to you. So subscribe to the channel and get ready to learn. Let's get started.
Thanks for having me. I've heard a lot of good things about this group and this team. So thanks, guys, for being with me on this Monday morning. Basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk through some principles, some things that you can do to use AI for agent attraction and for production as well. But I'm going to focus mostly on step by step. Literally, if you can copy and paste, you can do what I'm going to teach. So if you're on here and you're like, Phil, technology is overwhelming to me, or I really am not a techie person, totally fine. What I'm going to teach you, I've boiled it down to where it doesn't matter if you're 5 or 95, you'll be able to do these strategies. Okay. So I think if you are overwhelmed or if you're scared of technology or AI, by the end of this call, you can totally think I can absolutely do what he just described. And I'm going to give you guys the step-by-step playbook, and you can just copy and paste. So if you can copy and paste, you can do what I'm going to share with you. So it looks like you will have to maybe make me a co-host or something. That way I can, the share button will not allow me to do it. So once we go there, then I'm going to go into presentation mode and we're going to start this thing off. Here we go. So you guys should see the power of AI now. Now, I want to start off with 3 core principles because everything I'm about to do follows these 3 core principles. This is basically what I have followed for scaling my company, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I'm going to give you guys the same strategies that I have used to scale my company the last couple of years, but it's all come down to 3 pillars essentially for me. One is leverage. Figuring out how to create more leverage than my competition. So doing more with less. This could be doing the same amount of stuff with less time or less effort, or it could be doing more stuff with the same amount of time or effort. If I can do more with less effort, then that is when I create leverage because I'm able to do more with less, or I can do more with the same amount of effort. So figuring out leverage, and I'm going to teach you guys how to create leverage in your businesses today. The second thing is value. The second principle is learning how to give my clients value. And so if we're talking about production, we're thinking of, our clients, buyers, sellers. If we're talking about agent attraction, then we're thinking, how do I provide value to these agents in order to bring them over to my team? And so the one thing that I found out very early on in business was that value is not what we define value as. And that's where a lot of us get tripped up because we think in our mind, ooh, this is valuable to this agent, let me provide it. And what value truly is figuring out what they define value as. They're the ones, our clients or the agents that we're trying to attract are the ones that set the definition of what value is. And if we can figure out what value really is to them and then provide that, that's when we win, rather than just throwing out potential value at the wall that we think might be valuable. This is all going to make sense in a minute because I'm going to tie everything back to how do we find out what they think is valuable? And I'm going to have you use AI to figure out what that is in our recruiting efforts. And then the last thing for me, and this is just a pillar for my own company, is be kind to everyone. There are people that are going through things that you have no idea. Everyone in this room, everyone watching, whether it's a replay later, everyone who's here is going through something that no one else knows about. And it could be small, it could be big, but we don't know what people are going through. And there are hard times. And we could change someone's trajectory by just a smile, by being kind in some way, by doing some type of act of service for someone. And so for me, all of this wraps up into 3 things. Figure out how to do more with less and create leverage. figure out what my client or my target audience defines value, and then provide that, and then be kind to everyone. Okay. Now, we're about to save a ton of time and make a bunch of money, which I think is a great thing. I think all of us probably in the room would say, yes, that is something that we want to do. I don't know of anyone who would say, no, I don't want to save any time. No, I don't want to make any more money. But there are only two possible outcomes from this session. You will either start to become wildly more productive and profitable, or you'll start to slowly become painfully irrelevant. There are no other options. It depends on what you do with AI starting today. And I don't mean to sound harsh, but your competition is starting to use AI. And if you don't, it's just a matter of time. You will be left behind. Just like when the internet came out, the internet powered agent replaced the standard agent. It was just a matter of time. If you didn't evolve with technology and say, okay, I'm going to learn how to use the internet, you would be out of a job right now if you didn't involve the internet with your business. Now, right now, there's someone beating you in business with half your experience, a fraction of your skill, and way less hustle. And they're able to do it because they know how to use AI at a higher level than you. But that's going to change today. I'm going to show you how to use AI to crush your goals and your competition. So let me ask you something honestly, just at the top here. How much of your day is filled with stuff that doesn't actually move the needle in business? I think probably all of us are thinking right now, oh yeah, there's definitely stuff that I'm doing during the day that doesn't really move the needle, but I'm trying to eliminate all these fires constantly. Here's the painful truth, and this is tough to hear for all of us. Every hour you spend doing things a machine can now do faster and better than you is an hour your competition is gaining on you because they're using AI. Now, I love this quote by Jim Rohn. I quote it all the time. It says, time is our most valuable asset, yet we tend to waste it, kill it, and spend it rather than invest it. And I think that's so true. That's also why I say AI is to your time what compound interest is to your money. If you can learn how to use AI to create leverage and do more with less, you can create time, and it is like compound interest is to your money. The good thing is, and sigh of relief to all of us in the room, including myself, you don't have to be an AI master in order to get benefit from this technology. Today, I'm not going to go through random experiments, right? Or futuristic hype, stuff that is just off the wall. I'm a believer in practical, dead, simple strategies. Strategies that real business owners, real estate agents are using right now to save time, make more money, and crush the competition without being tech savvy. You just need to know what buttons to press and what to type, and I am about to show you exactly that. So this is how you do more with less. This is how you create leverage. This is how you win. And I know what you might be thinking. Okay, all of this sounds great, good introduction, but why should we trust you? Maybe you don't know who I am. Maybe you've never been to a presentation of mine. Well, in less than 2 years, I've scaled my personal brand from nothing to multi-seven figures. I started with no marketing budget, no social media following, no experience. I now have over 1,200 paid clients in all 50 states and in 23 different countries. I've taught business owners from solo agents to large teams how to create time, simplify their marketing, and scale without burnout. I've gained over 200,000 followers across social platforms, received over 1 billion views on my short form video content. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a developer. I'm not even that smart, honestly. I just figured out how to use AI in ways that actually work for people like you and me. So today, I am not here to impress you with what I've done. I'm just here to show you and inspire you how you can do it too. So let's save some time and let's make some money together. So if you want to connect with me, best way is probably on Instagram. That's my most common platform that I respond to messages on. It's just my first and last name, Phil Stringer, on Instagram. If you want to connect with me, I'd be happy to. I share tips and tricks, ways to use AI, and that's a majority of what I do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch from presentation mode, and I like to teach how I like to learn. And the way that I like to learn is I like to visually see what's going on, which is why I screen share and I just kind of show you what I do. And so I like to get out of presentation mode and I like to actually show you what's going on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a feature in ChatGPT that's new within the last couple months, but most people aren't using it effectively. And if I can teach you how to use this feature effectively, it will change the game of what you're doing with AI and ChatGPT. So I would assume that in this room, most people have either used or heard of ChatGPT. If you don't have an account, go get the free account. Everything that I'm going to teach you today, you can do even with the free account. But the very first feature that I'm going to show you is this right here, and it's called Deep Research. And I'm going to take you over to Chrome. I'm going to go into ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you exactly what Deep Research does. So if I go over here and I go to ChatGPT, this is ChatGPT, obviously, where you type in the question here. But there's a Tools button, and you can click on Tools, and you can now enable Run Deep Research. So now you see I've got this research button turned on, and it's blue, to where whatever I ask it, it's not just going to give me an immediate response. It could take 5, 10, 15, I've seen even up to 30 minutes for it to give me a response. But what it's doing, instead of just responding, it actually goes out and it reads and scans the web for dozens, even hundreds of articles to do all the research that you need. So you could use this for your personal life. You could use this for business. There's so many different ways you could use this. I use it all the time, but a lot of people aren't using it in the right way. So let's think about it in your personal life. Let's say you need to buy a new car and you say, okay, I know I want a van. I know I need this type of safety rating, maybe, this type of gas mileage, this type of price. I need it to be under $60,000 or whatever it is. You can put that into Deep Research and say, give me a comparison of all of the vans on the market that meet these criteria. It's going to go out and it's going to do 40 plus hours of reading that you would have had to do, going between articles, reviews, real forums, all across the web. And it's going to find data from today, real-time data, to give you a full report back. And this report could be 10, 15, 20 pages long, but it's going to give you a full comparison of, here are the top vans that meet this criteria. This is what we would recommend for you. And it's done all of the research between real customer reviews, real forums, and it goes through all of that stuff where it would take you an entire work week just reading all of those pages. And then it sources all of it for you. So you can click on all the sources and go straight to the article where it pulled the information. It's real time, it's accurate, and it does all of the research for you. If you were getting a new cell phone, you could say, hey, I'm going to upgrade my iPhone. Can you give me a comparison of the latest iPhone models? Or maybe you're thinking between Android and Apple. Give me, a comparison of the top phones right now on the market for these. And it's going to do all of the research for you and wrap it up with a bow in a pretty article that has everything for you that you can then reference. So I like telling people about this because I believe in the last 2 years, Deep Research is probably one of the most beneficial tools that has been added to AI and ChatGPT. It's probably one of the biggest feature upgrades that I have seen in 2 years, but a lot of people don't use it in the right ways. Why? Because we can't really think how to use it. And so what I want to do with you guys is I want to give you 8 different use cases that will help you with production, that can help real estate agents. And then I'm also going to walk you through a step-by-step attraction that you can step-by-step figure out how to build your attraction, your downline. And it's really an amazing way to start with agent attraction. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you these 8 use cases. So you can either take some notes, take some screenshots of this, whatever it may be. But use case number 1 is competitive listing analysis. So you could put into Deep Research something like, here are 3 listings in whatever neighborhood, and you could paste in the links to those listings, right? And it could be 2 listings, it could be 5 listings, whatever you want to do. But then you say, what is missing from their marketing? And what can I do to outperform these agents when I market my listing? It is going to do a full report for you to figure out exactly how those agents in whatever listing links you pasted in whatever neighborhood, how they marketed those listings. And if you have a listing coming up in a similar neighborhood, you can then figure out what those agents did and did not do very well and outperform what those agents did, so that when you're going on your listing appointment, you could say, hey, here's what's going on in the neighborhood. This is what I'm going to do. Full report on what you can do to outperform those other agents in that neighborhood. Deep research use case number 2 is researching local market trends. So you could say something like, what trends are showing up in zip code? You put in whatever zip code you want. For listings over whatever price point you want, how does that compare to another zip code? And then you get a full market trends report based on those 2 zip codes and that price point, that range. Number 3 would be local regulations or tax incentives. So you could say, are there any first-time home buyer tax incentives or down payment grants you put in a county, right? Or it doesn't just have to be first-time home buyers. It can be any type of client where maybe there's an incentive somewhere that you don't know about. This searches through all the data online to figure out if there's any hidden tax incentives to help your buyer. Number 4 would be real-time market comparisons. So you could say, hey, compare home price trends over the last 90 days in zip code, whatever zip code you want, versus another zip code with average days on market, price per square foot, and list to sale ratios. Another strategy would be validating your pricing strategy. We all know with listings, it's very difficult to have to validate our pricing strategy if the seller isn't 100% on board. So imagine saying in deep research, pull recent data, articles, or live sources showing if pricing slightly below market helps homes sell faster than you put in your city and state. Now you're going to have a full report that you can even give to your seller to say, hey, this is why we're listing it at 620, right? When they wanted to list it at 700, whatever it may be. Number 6 is understanding buyer migration trends. You could put in deep research, hey, what cities are people moving from to settle in? And then you put in your city in 2025. It will research buyer migration trends to figure out where people are currently moving from and all the different trends for relocation. Number 7 is competitive agent analysis. And this is one of my favorites. You could say, what marketing strategies are top agents you put in your city or state, using in 2025 to win luxury listings? Now you've got a full report for what's working this year with the top agents in your market in luxury. And you've got the full report on exactly what they're doing to make those things happen. And then last but not least, one of my favorites is a farming strategy using deep research. You could say, hey, research the most effective geographic farming strategies top performing real estate agents are using in 2025 to generate listings and build brand authority you put in your city. Specifically analyze how agents are combining direct mail with digital tactics like retargeting ads, social media content, email, and AI tools. I want a 12-month plan with content themes, timing suggestions, and modern tracking methods. Also, research what's working best right now in similar markets to mine. So now you have a full farming strategy. So you can see how using these type of things with deep research, yes, it's going to take 10, 20 minutes for it to come back with a full report, but you've got accurate live data in a full report for you that has incredible information. And this is just 8 different ways you could use it. I'm trying to inspire you to think, oh, I didn't even think about that. These are just things I wrote down on the notes in my phone and thought, I bet you we could use it for this with our real estate, right? And so these are very good ways to kind of get your brain moving, right? Inspiration here to say, ooh, I should do deep research for this type of strategy with real estate. Now, Obviously, I'm going to show you probably in a couple minutes here. I'm going to shift over into agent attraction and then say, okay, how can we actually use this for agent attraction specifically? And there's some very, very good ways that, again, you can just copy and paste. I've done all the work for you. I've laid it out. I've written it. I've put it in a PDF. I'm going to give you that PDF so that you have it. But deep research is such an incredible tool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift a little bit of focus here, and I'm going to take you through a couple different tools. I'm only going to showcase 3 different tools that are not called ChatGPT that can absolutely help you not only with agent attraction, but using these strategies. So there are some tools, and the first one I want to share with you is a tool called Notebook LM. It's a tool by Google, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. But essentially, what Notebook LM is it's like a notebook that you can load a bunch of different things into, and it becomes this external brain for you of information. You can add in files, you can add in websites that it can scrape for information. You can add in YouTube videos that it understands the entire YouTube video and puts it in its knowledge base. You could paste in text, you could add in documents and files, whatever it is you want. And so I thought it would be interesting to go over here and show you, this is Notebook LM, and I'm going to say, okay, let's try it here. And I've got these different, I'm going to actually switch accounts because I have multiple accounts, but I did this one here where I did that luxury real estate thing with the deep research. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. But with Notebook LM, when you're creating a notebook, you can add sources. So I want to show you here. Right here, you can upload any file. You can drag files in. You can pick from your Finder or your browser to drag in different files, different documents, whatever it may be. You can see different. You can even put in audio files, right? Anything you want. You can add in files from your Google Drive. You can add in websites or YouTube videos. You can paste in any text you want. Or if you don't have any sources and you're looking for more sources, you can just ask it and it will scour the web for you and pull in different sources for you. So I thought, okay, interesting. I've got a 20-page report now from ChatGPT on how luxury top agents in Raleigh, I'm from North Carolina, are doing their marketing to get more luxury listings in 2025. Why don't I add that to Notebook LM's brain? Right? So I've got this notebook here. So what I did, you'll see here, I'm going to go back to that slide. I think it was use case number 7, right? I just copied and pasted this into ChatGPT Deep Research. I said, what marketing strategies are top agents in Raleigh, North Carolina using in 2025 to win luxury listings? It came back after, say, 20 minutes with a 20-page report on everything that's going on in 2025 to win these luxury listings. And I decided I would put this in as a source. So again, I can do files, I can do, websites, whatever, but I did copied text so I could paste in. I just pasted that entire 20-page report that ChatGPT gave me. And now I have my sources over here. And you can see I did it with Gemini, I did it with Grok, I did it with Perplexity. You can do it with ChatGPT, any tool you want. You throw it in here. And now you can talk to this thing like it is ChatGPT with this added knowledge. So I could say, what are the top 3 things, Raleigh agents are doing in 2025 to win luxury listings, right? I can ask this any question I want. And it uses this info over here, the sources that I've added, to then answer my question in a chat format. But I can also do a couple other things here. So it says, all right, look, implementing exclusive pre-marketing strategies and off-market access networks. It's concierge level service models and comprehensive seller support. And all of these things have different sources that I can click on and go to exactly where it pulled that information. Leveraging advanced digital marketing and visual storytelling excellence. So then it's got information on that. I have a study guide over here that I can read, a briefing document, because this is 60 pages of info over here. I don't have time to read that today, right? Well, what if I wanted a briefing document that's only 2 pages that gives me all the things I need to know from all this information. Frequently asked questions, a timeline of information. Probably the coolest thing, and I'm going to stop sharing real quick because I want to share my audio with you. So let's see if this will work. But the coolest thing that you can do is you can actually create an audio podcast that it uses 2 AI hosts. And you can't even tell that they're AI. It sounds really real. But these 2 hosts are going to do, this is a 17-minute and 25-second podcast teaching me all the information from my sources. If you're an audio learner and you want to just drive and listen, now you can listen to what Raleigh luxury agents are doing in 2025. And check this out. Let's see if this will work.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really digging into the Raleigh, North Carolina real estate scene.
Yeah, specifically looking at the luxury market.
Exactly. How are the top agents actually landing those, high-end listings in 2025? What's the secret sauce?
Well, we've got some interesting source material to unpack that.
So you guys can see how that can be super helpful because now you can run deep research for anything. You can load it into a tool like Notebook LM, and then you can create an audio version teaching you the information from those reports. And you can do that for anything. Doesn't matter if it's production or a personal thing or agent attraction. And so now we've got this tool that helps us do that. And that's why I love Notebook LM so much. The second tool I want to show you is a tool called buyerprediction.com. It's buyerprediction.com. This tool has made more money for real estate agents than any other tool I've seen. It's the simplest thing to use, but this is getting listings at an insane rate. We're getting messages all the time from my students on, I just got a $2.7 million listing because of this tool. I just got a 1.9. I just got a 2.3 in markets that are, 400, 500, 600,000 average price points because of this tool. So I'm going to tell you how it works. It's super, super simple. You put in a property address and you put in the price point of what you would list it at. So does anyone have a property or an address that you would want me to pop in and we'll just do as a demo right now? Maybe something that's coming up or even a property that you just recently listed or something. If not, I'll just put in one of my recent ones.
I got a simple one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kelly, you might recognize this address. 5150 Rainbow Harbor Circle.
Okay. City, state, and zip.
Colorado Springs, Colorado. And Kelly, do you know what is the zip code over there? I'll type it in myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
That's okay. It helps it, but it doesn't. You don't have to have it. If you find it, let me know though, because it will get more accurate data even with the zip code. What would be, what would you list it at?
80917.
Oh, 880. What'd you say?
80917.
80917. There we go. Price point?
I think it'll sell around 300, but we're going to list it for 310.
Okay, let's do 310. Now I'm going to hit submit, and what this is going to do is it's going to search through sales data and use an AI algorithm to tell me who is most likely to purchase this home, and then it's going to write out a persona based on that information. And so give it a second here, but look what it ends up doing. So once it's done, I'll scroll back up here. So it gives me an introduction. It gives me the ideal buyer persona with demographic information, income level, occupation, family status, psychographic profile with values, interests, lifestyle preferences, motivations, concerns, pain points for that buyer, marketing strategy recommendations, addressing the pain points, enhancing the appeal, content ideas for that property. And it's got this whole report based on data. And so people, what's happening with this report is they're taking this to the listing appointments, and sellers are freaking out because they're like, I've never seen this before. So what they're doing is they're saying, hey, most agents just market the listing to everyone because they don't understand, they don't know who to market to. we have a tool that tells us who's most likely to buy your home. And so we're able to target our marketing to really get you top dollar. Guys, this is winning so many listings. People are freaking out about it. I had a guy who was a brand new agent. He went against 7 of the top agents in his market, average price point of 400 some thousand in their market. He got a $2.9 million listing and beat out all the big dogs because he was the one who had this report and no one else did. So this is an amazing tool. It's buyerprediction.com. You have your first use for free. You can use it. You don't need to put in your name, email, nothing. It's completely ungated. You can try it out, test it. And if you want unlimited reports, it's only $29 a month and you can run as many as you want. So we've got teams who are doing, say, prospecting or cold calling. They're calling FSBOs, expireds, whatever it is. And the moment they pick up the phone, they're popping in the address, putting in the price point. They say, hey, I just ran a report for you. Would you want to set up a time to go over it? So they're setting listing appointments using the tool. They're winning the listing appointments using the tool as a part of their listing presentation. And one other thing I want to show you guys, and this is the last tool that I'm going to show you, is a tool called Gamma. Gamma is a tool where you can either paste in any text, you can put in a prompt, or you can import a website or a file, and it will create a presentation that looks really well designed based on your information. So let's say I took this Colorado Springs property and I want to copy this whole thing. There's a little copy button right here. And I go into Gamma and I'm going to do the paste in the text one. And I want a presentation. You can do a website, you can do a document, a social media post, whatever you want. I'm going to do a presentation for this one. I paste in this whole report, right? Boom. Same thing as what was on buyerprediction.com. And it says, what do you want to do? Well, I want to generate from my notes because this is my notes or my outline up here. All right. So now I click this and I get an option, which I don't have to change anything on here. I can just hit continue. What I like to do is I like to say, okay, how much text do I want on the screen? I want it to be kind of concise, or I can keep it detailed, doesn't matter. And then on right 4, this says, for real estate professionals and marketers, I like to go in here and I like to say, I want to write it for the property owner. And then I'm going to say, I'll do this. I'll say, I'm a real estate agent meeting with the property owner to try and win the listing. And then I could say, I want to show the ideal buyer and why they should choose me to list their home, right? You can put anything you want in here. You don't even have to put anything in here, but I like to do that. And then I can decide how many cards I want based on this report. And so I'm going to say, okay, continue. And then I get to pick what I want it to look like. They have all of these different styles, right? So let's just say I want to go with this, whatever. And then I can generate a full report based on that property. So now I don't just have text that I can show them, but I have a full presentation that I could print out, give to them, whatever it is, and it'll generate a full report, your dream buyer, whatnot. And so it's going to show everything that I want, and I get to decide what I want to add, what I don't want to add, and then I can present it once it's done. I can print it out, and it has multiple slides. Now, on this one, I just selected one slide. I probably should have selected like 10 slides, right? But it'll go through all of the information, and it will show me exactly. So like I did a luxury buyer right here where I did multiple pages, and this was for 915 Eagle Crest. You could drag in their image. It says, who is your buyer? It tells who exactly it is, their lifestyle and values, why they're buying. I didn't edit or change any of this, but you can go in here and you can tweak any of this, right? You can change it, delete it, move it around. But now I have this beautiful presentation, and I can print this out or even show them, guys, you will win every single listing using this. So buyerprediction.com, you create the report. Gamma, this is a tool you can use for free, and it's really incredible what you can do with it. So Here's what I want to do. I want to go to agent attraction specifically. I'm going to spend the next, say, 10 minutes walking you through this. I have a PDF for you guys that is going to have all of this stuff. So don't try and write it down. You don't even need to take screenshots. I have this in a PDF that you can copy and paste, and I'm going to give it to you guys in a minute. But I want to show you a strategy. And you're going to have to put your thinking hat on here for a second because this is very detailed, okay? The good news is, though, you do not have to think through this strategy. I've already done it for you. All you have to do is go step by step and do exactly what I tell you to do using ChatGPT, and this is what's going to happen. So step number 1 is figuring out what type of agent you can best help, and this is what we're going to do. All of this is a prompt, and I have this in a PDF for you. It's multiple slides. All you're going to do is copy and paste this and put this into ChatGPT. So here's what it says. I'll read it to you fast. Act as my recruiting coach. Goal, help me spot the one type of real estate agent I can help best at EXP. How? Ask me each question below one at a time. After I answer all of them, study my words. Write a short profile of my ideal agent. List their top pain, top goal, and why EXP fits. Keep every line under 15 words. Use active voice. Questions. What deals or agents have I helped most in the past year? What tools, skills, or tips do I share that others thank me for? Where do I sell homes? Price, city, niche. Do I coach teams, solos, or new agents now? What part of my day feels easy but hard for others? Which agent questions fill my DMs or calls? What makes me proud when I see an agent win? What broker pain makes me say, I can fix that? What proof story shows EXP solved that pain, what proof story shows EXP solved that pain for someone? And then finally, in one line, what life change do I want for my recruits? Then it says, after you ask all the questions, sum up the common thread you see, name the agent type, example, mid-career solo closing 15 to 25 homes, add a 50-word story, life before versus after joining me at EXP, and end with 3 bullet points I can use in a pitch. That whole thing I just read to you is a prompt. You copy it, you paste it in, you hit enter in ChatGPT. Then it asks you the questions and you just answer them. Once you answer those questions, it does all of this for you and it wraps it up and tells you exactly the perfect agent that you can help. Because before we recruit anyone, we have to figure out who is the agent that I can best serve. Because those are the agents that we're going after because we can make the biggest difference in their life. So then we go to step 2. And again, this is a prompt. So don't get overwhelmed here. All you're doing is copying and pasting and hitting enter. Everyone on this call can do that. So now we figure out what problem you solve. Now that we know what type of agent you can help, now we figure out what problem you solve. And this is the prompt. Act as my business coach. The goal is to help me name the single real problem I solve for my ideal agent. Use the answers I gave you in step 1. Ask me only for new info. How this works. Gap check. List the facts you already have about my ideal agent and my offer. Show any blanks you still need to fill. Quick questions, ask one at a time. What pain keeps this agent up at night? What daily task steals their time or money? What big win do they chase? What proof do I have that my way works? Story, stat, or quote. Problem line. After I answer, write one short line. They struggle with blank. Use plain words, no jargon. Feeling and cost. How does this problem make them feel? One emotion. What does it cost them if they ignore it? Time, deals, life. Promise line. Craft, I help agent type fix problem with my offer so they result. Keep every word under 2 syllables when you can, 1 idea per line. Output. They're going to give you the problem line. They're going to give you 1 feeling word plus 1 cost line, the promise line that is ready for you to share with your agents, and then wait for all my answers before you write the draft. You copy that whole thing, you paste it in, and now not only did you find out what your perfect agent is that you can help, you figured out what problem that agent is facing right now and how you can help solve it. And by the way, if you're looking at these questions and you think, well, I don't really know how to answer that, You can ask ChatGPT, hey, I don't really know. Can you help me answer? And it will give you the answer based on its knowledge. Then we go to step number 3. We're going to clarify your unique value proposition. So now the prompt is, and you copy and paste all of this, act as my positioning coach. Goal, write my unique value proposition for recruiting my ideal agents to EXP. Flow, recap, list what you already know from step 1, agent profile. List what you know from step 2, problem I solve. Show both lists, ask me to fill in any blanks. Fresh questions, ask one at a time. What result do my agents get that others can't match? Numbers or proof story? What tool, skill, or system lets me give that result? How fast does an agent see the first win? Days, weeks, deals? What hard proof can I share? Stat, quote, screen grab. Draft the UVP. So it's going to write for you. I help agent type get big result in time by unique method so they life benefit. Give 2 short versions, a 15-word pitch and a 5-word hook. Ask for my edits once, then rewrite if needed. Wait for all my answers before you write the draft. So now, at this point, after step 3, you have the exact agent you need to help. You have your problem that agent is going to face and how you can fix it. And then you have your unique value that you offer this agent. We go to step 4. We're going to build our offer and our value stack. So now we say, copy and paste this in, act as my offer builder. Create a clear value stack for my agent offer and put a fair dollar tag on each part. Recap. List what you know from step 1, agent type. List what you know from step 2, problem I solve. List my UVP from step 3. Show the lists and ask me to fill in any blanks. Questions. List every perk, tool, or service my agents get, bullet each one. For each perk, what would it cost them if they bought it on their own? How many hours or dollars do I invest to deliver each perk? Which perk drives the fastest first win? Which perk saves them the most money or time in a year? Then we build your value stack. We make a table. Column 1 is the perk. Column 2 is the quick benefit. Column 3 is the market price that it would cost them. Wait for all my answers before you write the table. Keep each perk line under 10 words. Use round dollar numbers, no cents. The value stack table, it's going to give you 1-sentence pitch that shows the savings. And then it'll ask you for any edits and it'll update if needed. Once you're done with this, you now have your full value stack of what you offer and how much it costs. So you know how much you're giving them in savings. So I'm going to show you an example of mine. So this is what I have. So anyone who joins me at EXP or anyone that I co-sponsor with, I give them access to an elite AI mastery cohort that I run. And we sell this, by the way, for this exact amount. So what I'm giving agents, I can say, look, you get this, you get this, you get this, and it's all over $13,000 worth of value. But you get it for free if you join me at EXP or if you co-sponsor with me or whatever it is. And so you're going to create a value stack that looks similar, and you're going to show them exactly what you offer, every perk, every benefit, what it would cost them, and what you're giving it to them for so that they can have that value. All right, we're almost done here. This is step number 5. We're going to do deep research. This is why I taught you about deep research on the EXP benefits. So you're going to say, act as my real estate research analyst. The goal is to give me up-to-date 2024 to 2025 facts on every key benefit eXp Realty offers agents. I will use this data to recruit new agents. So example sources could be 2024 to 2025 eXp SEC filings and press releases, 2024 to 2025 NAR reports and surveys, major real estate news sites and analyst notes dated 2024 to 2025. And then it says, ignore anything older than 2024 to ensure relevance. So research checklist, it's going to go through money. So commission split and cap, revenue share, stock awards, icon, sustainable equity plan. It's going to go through tools like eXp World, SkySlope, CRM of choice, Canva, AI tools, any new tools added in 2025. training and support with the weekly live hours, on-demand library size, mentor program, perks like healthcare, wellness, relocation help, agent events, growth like agent count, countries, year-over-year growth to 2025, new co-sponsorship opportunities. And then it's going to go through new 2025 programs or upgrades, and it will name each one. For each fact, it's going to give you the number or quote. It's going to cite the 2025 source with a title and a date. It's going to give you one short line on why it matters. And then it's going to give you a full table that you can use. And it says, do not invent data, but cite every fact. So now after step 5, you have a full value prop of what EXP gives these agents. So you have your own unique value that you bring to the table as you and yourself. You have added those benefits to EXP's value now to have one full big, here's what we're giving you. And then you do step number 6, which is deep research on your competitors. And this is where it gets super interesting and very beneficial. So now we say, act as my research analyst, compare EXP Realty to other US brokerages in 2025 and show why EXP wins. So example sources I give it, like the same SEC filings, NAR, real trend reports, real estate news that are in the last couple of years, each firm's public fee sheet and agent guide. So it's pulling all of that from our competitors. And then I added in a broker list that's like, please include Keller Williams, Remax, Compass, Anywhere Advisors, Coldwell, Century 21, Berkshire, The Real Brokerage, LPT, Fathom, Sotheby's, Fredfin, etc. So what it's going to do is it's going to gather from each company the same checklist we gathered when we were doing the EXP research. Commission splits and caps, monthly fees or desk fees, profit share or stock plan, the tools, the training and the support, the perks, the growth, everything, right? And it creates a full research list for us from all of the different competitors. And then it's going to give us a table of why EXP wins in less than 10 words with each source. So it's going to also give us a one-page brief that I can share with recruits to say, hey, if I'm going after a Keller Williams agent, I can compare, hey, this is what Keller Williams is doing, and this is what EXP does. Here's the comparison table. You know, they charge this for desk fees and we don't, or whatever it is. And this is why EXP is better. And so the main idea here is to generate a report that maps competitor gaps by showing where other brokerages charge more, give less, or move slower. Do not invent data, cite every fact. So now that we've done that, you can see it's a little bit of work. But what we're going to do then is we're going to take all of that and we're going to add everything into one document. So we just paste it into like a Google Doc, a notepad, whatever it is that you use. And you're going to use all of that data to create highly specific content. So you can turn everything into content customized to attract your specific agent type. Now you've mapped it all out. You've mapped out exactly what agent you can best help based on who you are. You have mapped out exactly what pain point that specific agent is facing in the market right now and how you can help them. You've mapped out your unique value proposition and what you bring to the table. You've mapped out EXP's unique value proposition and what they're bringing to the table. You're creating your whole value stack to say, I've got this that I'm going to give you and it's for free. And then you're comparing what you're giving to all the competitors to show why you're better than Remax or Century 21 or Keller Williams, whatever it is. You're using all of that data now. You can create a 60-second pitch script. You can hook the agent's pain, one data point that proves EXP fixes it, your unique help, clear call to talk. You can use it to do an email drip example, day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, day 30. You could use all of this data to create a one-page why join me sheet, top 5 EXP wins, short rival comparison table, your UVP in a bold line. You can hand it out or link it to people. You can do an objection buster sheet, list top 5 doubts, fees, culture, change, fear, one-line answers with a fresh stat. You could build a pitch deck, turn your testimonials, facts, and stories into slides. Everyone should have an agent attraction webinar based on all of this data. And so that, my friends, is how you can create it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, hey, I want that PDF so I can just copy and paste it, right? So if you go to philstringer.com/attraction, philstringer.com/attraction, you will be able to get that PDF, and everything I just read to you is just a copy paste and you hit enter. Like, you don't have to create it. You don't have to do it. But make sure you go there and you can grab that for free. And that way you can have that PDF.
Out here on the grind, chasing dreams in the sun. From the Gulf to the hills, yeah, we're getting it done. We don't cold call, we don't knock doors. We got leads rolling in.